Hi, we're back to making another signature for the album, and I left in such a hurry I forgot on the last signature to tell you how to finish this. I just walked away. On the back side you're going to run tape, and you may have already figured this out, or maybe you held on to it hoping I would explain myself, but you will tape the perimeter and use some wide tape, 1/2 inch at a minimum. I use 5/8, and then run 2 through the center on the underside so that it will stay down into and next to this cardstock. And then make sure that when you put it in that it is balanced. And I always bring mine right up to the edge of the album. I don't want it here. I want to stay away from here. And that's why I have this paper here. It acts as my guide. And that's how, in case I do that again, that's how all of them will get attached, is taping and then putting them in place in the album. I needed to use the restroom and just blanked. So my apologies. So here we go. This is the next one. It's going to be an up and a bottom flap. And in the center, we're going to have a pocket on this side. I'm going to use a bead of red gems over here to give it some brightness. And then this to me just seems like it's unfinished. So I'm just taking a strip of scrap, some gold cardstock, and I'm just going to make just an element over here to kind of help break things up a little bit. The pocket itself is going to measure 2.5 inches across, and it's the same height as, well, let me just double check here because I just know the way things are going, I'm going to tell you wrong. Okay, so the base is going to measure at, this one is going to measure in at 8 5/8, and then we're at 8.5. And we're going to be smaller on the internal pages because we don't have that extra width to play with that we do on the panels. So you're 8.5 across by 8 5/8. So that means this should be, well, this is coming in at 8 3/4. So let's take another good look at this. 8 3/4. 8 3/4 by 8.5, 2.5 by 8 3/4. And then I'll walk you through how wide I made that little extra strip there. Start down here in this corner and then lay it straight going up. And then the cardstock piece is at 8 5/8, and this is a 1/2 inch strip. And it's just simply going to be placed over here. You can put it anywhere you want. Where it sits will be up to you and your eye. You don't even have to do it at all. It's going to be a large pocket on the other side, so this won't interfere with any floral placement or floral photo placement. Okay, there we go. And then from the scraps, which this is on the reverse side, I am using the piece of holly. just set that in there. And then out of the chipboard, I'm using the Little Joy. And out of the ephemera, I am using this green holly piece. I want it to sit in there like so. And then I'm taking a cream colored poinsettia flower and I'm putting it right here. I just know I grab these things, I get glue all over my hands. Tuck that in right there. And then now the beads, these are out of my stash. It's not anything that I got from Scrap and Create. I got these at Michael's. It's their Recollections collection. I just want to burnish the beads. I don't know why I call them beads. Gems from the back side. Okay, so now we have a nice little pocket here. And you can still get, not quite this large, but you can still get a couple of nice photos in here. All right, now our panels. We're going to have two of them. They're going to measure 6 inches in height by the 5.5 in the width. You're going to score at a 1/2 inch and at 5/8 of an inch. And you're going to want a couple of magnets. Magnet's gonna go, oops, I've got them upside. Magnet's going to be on the bottom. It's gonna attach to the underside of the top. So they'll fit in like this. So let's go ahead and let's get these guys on here. And then we're going to do the same over here. And then I want to push back and reinforce this outer score line. Okay, So now I'm going to take this off. And then I'm going to want to make sure that my lines are straight and that my gussets are flattened out. And then I can put the magnet in place. Okay, so this inner piece is going to look like this. And I'm going to tape it in. This is out of the Patterns and Solids, and it is the back side to this cut. And this one's going to go up here on the top flap. And I will be taping them both in because they both have a magnet on them. So that's where I got the green from. So I'm going to go ahead and get the tape on so I can finish. Oh no, I've got this. Oh God, I'm glad I caught myself. I'm going to stop right there. This goes in here. I have it correct on the one on top, but this goes down here and this one goes up here at the top. Because it's the layout, the outer layout is this, which is the reverse side of this. This is out of the core collection. It's going to sit down here. And then this, which is the reverse side, is going to sit down here. And we'll be doing something down here to tie this all together, but I kind of want to stay on the inside. So I don't need to tape it. I can actually finish gluing it. I have to be really careful. I don't know about you, but I got to make sure I got my flaps open or closed appropriately. And I almost put the wrong piece. I did that on a previous album. I did not have all of my flaps open in the right direction, and I put the wrong piece on the wrong side of the flap. I was so mad at myself. Okay, so down here, I took this strip which came off of one of your cutout sheets, and I cut out the piece, trimmed down the piece that had the yellow, a little bit of red, and then it said Merry Christmas in black. God, I better be careful. I'm going to put this on some black or gold cardstock. Scoot it down just a smidge. And I'm going to center it about here. And then this frame out of your chipboard and frames, we're going to put it right there. And then I want this little floral piece to go right there. So what it does is it gives you a spot down here for some journaling using a dark blue or a black pen, and you can still put a small size photo in up here. But we're going to secure down this side and the bottom so that you can come in here and put a photo behind there, and then all you have to do is tack down this corner and it will stay in place. And if you use some tape to tack it down, you can, and you want to at some point in time change out a photo, you can do that just by simply removing it using some undo. And you can find the undo at Scrap and Create. Just want to trim that out of there. Okay, so let's bring this back in where I can see what it is I'm doing. This is throwing me off. Line that up across the bottom. And I think I'm going to line it up right here. And then I'm going to take the tape off of this. Tuck the tape back in there off the corners. And then I'm making sure I've got roughly the same amount of room top to bottom. I'm gonna put that in there. And then here we go with a nice little poinsettia. So it's a nice clean finish. Like I said, room for a photo, some journaling. I did move this down a little bit, so I shortened up where you could journal, but you could still make some notes. Places, people's names, the dates, maybe what the event was, and put your photo up here. So let's go ahead, staying with that theme. Let's finish up the inside. Now this one's going to have to be taped because there is a magnet on the upper part, and I will be turning this around so that I can see what I'm doing when I place this in there. So I'm just kind of giving you a heads up. And again, as you can see, I have corner round 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to take a smidgen of glue. I do not know why I do that. Tape, glue. I get them both. I get tongue-tied with them both. I have no answer for that. All right, turn it around. And then this is going to sit in here just like this. I like how I place that, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it right where it is. Keep that. I got a little bit of tape there hanging over. And there as well. Okay. Now for this piece here, what I'm going to, and no, I didn't want to, why didn't I do this when I put it down? Well, there's stuff under here, so it was easier for me just to turn it around so I could lay it flat. Now under here, I'm using the word peace. This came out of your ephemera, and also out of the ephemera is a star. And I put a single little pop-up on the back. I put one of my red gems, and I'm just going to put it up here as a break in all of this. But I'm going to treat this as a tuck. And I mounted it on gold cardstock, so there was some sturdiness to it. And just put it off canter a little bit. So you have a nice spot here that you can come in with a tuck. You can also put a photo here, and you can put a photo here. You can come up underneath here. which would give it a great little accent for a photo. Wouldn't that be cool? Come in like this. All right, so this is what we have so far on your inside. And again, your photo panel, you'll come in here, and I just saw a mistake. I got it too late. What am I gonna do here now? Well, it's gonna be a thin photo. Oh, what did I do? I didn't think about that when I put that flower down there. That's right in the way. What a silly girl. I want the flower here though, but we can't have, there, okay. Anyway, this is not the right size photo. If you're putting the correct photo in here, it's going to be thinner, and you're going to be able to come up under here and put in the tuck. But now I've got myself a nice little rip right there. If I put this down, because I got tape down here, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move it down just a little bit because there's tape underneath here anyway, and I'll use the upper part to secure so you can still get a photo in there. And you have a spot to put a photo if you choose to. All right, now these guys. This one is going to fit in here. And this one, which is the reverse side, is going to fit in down below. Now up here at the top, out of the chipboard and frames. Oops, I've got these reversed. And how can I tell? These are all in there upside down. So we're going to use a big chipboard and frame, and we're going to put this here. And then I'm going to put a large poinsettia flower here in the corner because we're going to glue. We're going to tape here. And then I've taken a couple of your little ephemera pieces. I've put a little dollop of pop-up, and then these are going to come in here like so, and then I have the candy cane we're going to put right there. All right. I don't want those getting away. So this can be glued down because there's no magnet there. All right, now I'm going to tape this one on. Okay, lumpy bumpies here, so I'm gonna have to turn it over or turn it upside down to burnish it. Okay. All right, so let's put this in. Where's my 1/2-inch tape? And I want it on this side. Now, if you are so inclined, you could put a piece of acrylic back behind here. I thought about doing that, but I don't know that everybody has that. Okay, so I'm just gonna press here and here. And then using the large poinsettia, come down here in this corner. And then I want to put the green one next to the flower so that the white one will show. Just off-canter it a little bit. And then I want to put the candy cane up here. Let's see if my glue, I don't understand this. It's like there's something in there and I can't get it out and it falls into the tunnel where the glue comes out, and then it just kind of stays there. All right, and then we're going to put this right there. Now the bottom part. We're going to make a pocket so that when this is open, you've got a pocket that you can work right here. So we have I have to recut this because I rounded the wrong corners. Demonese Louise, Charlie. I am just, how big was that? It's 1 7/8 in height because I want it to match this. So I am going to cut. It needs to be 8.5 wide. And then 1 7/8. That was a terrible, terrible trim. There we go. Which means, see, and I rounded this too, and that's not what I wanted to do. I rounded both of them on the wrong corner. And I don't have another one. Well, it is what it is. So this came from the scraps. It was a leftover trim piece. Do not round the corners on this because it is not on the top of a flap. It will sit like so. And I'm going to come kind of to the bottom, a little closer to the bottom, and then we're going to put in a red strip of bead, which will brighten all this up a little bit. I made this last night, and I think, so tired that I was obviously not paying attention to what it was I was setting up. So then I come out here this morning to actually put the build together with you all, and I got trim happy last night. I'm just gonna do one real quick peruse to make sure it's the yellow strip on the back. Make sure I'm not, nope, I'm all out. Okay, well, it is what it is. At least you won't be making that mistake. And then I am just going to go ahead and add the bead now. While I have this down here. And then we'll take the tape off. And I will come in here on this corner. All right, so here's your build. You've got a photo here, some brass blings, some ephemera. You've got a nice pocket here. Open this up and you've got a nice decent pocket in here, a tuck, a place to put photos, and then you've got another photo mat down here. So let us finish this properly. Let me cap off my glue here real quick. All right, we're gonna need some Come on, straighten out. I hate it when I get kinkies in them. Now my 3/8, some center support, some burnish. Book. And it will come in and place just like so. And I will bring it up to this edge to make sure that I am not getting in here, and I want to keep as much room on this as I can. So we'll place it accordingly. Now I'm going to turn this so that I can see what it is I'm doing on at least 3 of the 4 sides. Okay. Let's go ahead and try and get some of this tape out of here. Come on. Now when you pull the tape off down here, make sure that your gusset is nice and flat as it can be, so that when you commit the tape, you're not seeing a rolled edge, you're seeing a nice level square edge. Well, come out of there. There we go. Burnish it pretty good, and there you go. All right, we've got another signature finished, and we'll move on to the next one. I'll see you then.